Taste This offers unique ideas for the foods we love. From pure comfort to daringly adventurous. Taste This, Thursdays on the KTLA 5 Morning News at 11 a.m. Sponsored by Smart and Final. Where else?
Good morning. I'm Eric Spillman in for Frank Buckley. Police make an arrest in a deadly stabbing on USC's Greek Road. Details just ahead.
Good morning. I'm Trevor Shirley live in Washington. President Biden announcing a new policy offering protections to undocumented immigrants if they're here in the country married to a U.S. citizen. I've got that story coming up just ahead.
And good morning, I'm Lena Bervin live here in the newsroom. Coming up next, the CEO of Boeing getting ready to testify in front of Senate after allegations have surfaced that the company is not doing enough to keep customers safe.
And good morning, I'm Megan Tellison for Jessica Holmes. A major insurance provider not renewing tens of thousands of pet policies. We'll tell you why.
Hey, good morning. I'm Jeremy Parsons. CMA Fest has announced its performance lineup for that upcoming concert primetime special. We've got it for you. Plus, one of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars, Plastique, here, live in studio. All that coming up.
Good morning, everybody. We are seconds away from 10 o'clock, and we're still looking at that marine layer. So this is good news for those that want to see, don't mind the morning clouds, want to see somewhat cooler, comfortable conditions. You're going to have it. Downtown 80 degrees. It's just a couple degrees above the average. And once we clear out this cloud coverage, we're still going to have that smoky haze from the fire out there. So right around 90 in the IE, 90 in the high desert, we'll actually see temperatures come down a couple degrees tomorrow and Thursday. But our first full day of summer on Friday, it's going to get hot. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. But until then, Eric, we'll send it over to you.
Henry, thank you. President Biden announcing sweeping new action on immigration. It will allow certain undocumented immigrants to stay in the U.S. if they're legally married to an American citizen. This could potentially keep hundreds of thousands of people from being deported. KTLA's Trevor Shirley is live in Washington, D.C. with more. Good morning, Trevor.
Eric, good morning to you as well. This new policy comes after some criticisms from Democrats. And it's coming just as the really election season gets underway, right? We're 5 months away from that general election. The new policy offering protections for spouses here illegally without having to leave the country to apply for lawful resident status, which is the current policy. The administration says the directive will be implemented by the Department of Homeland Security. It would impact around 490,000 people who entered the country illegally but are married to U.S. citizens. The White House stressed the program only applies to people in legal marriages. The program shields them from deportation and offers work permits if they've been in the country illegally for at least 10 years. President Biden's move comes as polling shows his support slipping among Hispanic voters. It also comes weeks after President Biden announced stricter border control policies, angering many Democrats. This morning, many in the president's own party, though, supported this new move, while it was opposed by many Republicans.
The problem is the Biden administration simply can't have it both ways. They have said on one hand that they're going to crack down on asylum seekers and other people coming across the border, even after 3.5 years where they've done virtually nothing. And then on the other hand, provide an additional magnet or pull factor for more people to come and stay.
It's going to help keep hundreds of thousands of families together. That's what it does. Bring families together, keep them together. And it will provide peace of mind and dignity, and most of all, opportunity to contribute so that these people can contribute to this country even more.
Now, this policy is expected to be challenged in the courts like similar directives have been previously. We're also expecting President Biden to talk about this at some point later this afternoon. That's the latest here in Washington. We'll send it back to you guys in L.A.
Trevor, thank you. This morning, the CEO of Boeing is on Capitol Hill to testify about ongoing problems with his company's jets. The Senate hearing comes just hours after a new whistleblower raised concerns about Boeing's safety practices. KTLA's Alina Abovian is live in the newsroom with the details. Alina, good morning.
Matt, good morning. Well, the testimony is scheduled to start in less than an hour. Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun will be facing the Senate panel right on the heels of another whistleblower, as you mentioned, coming forward claiming the company mishandled hundreds of defective parts. Now, today's hearing will be the first time a major executive from Boeing is facing Congress since a panel door blew out on a 737 MAX during an Alaska Airlines flight in January. No one was seriously injured, but it is raising new concerns about the company's best-selling commercial aircraft. Boeing has also faced criticism recently for two crashes of two 737 MAX planes in 2018 and 2019, killing hundreds of people. Additionally, the Justice Department is accusing Boeing of violating a settlement reached after the two deadly crashes. The agreement allowed Boeing to avoid criminal prosecution in exchange for implementing new changes. A congressional investigation found Boeing failed in its design and development of the MAX. Calhoun will be addressing the victims' families, saying, quote, "We are deeply sorry for your losses. Nothing is more important than the safety of the people who step on board our planes." Now, in light of the allegations from several whistleblowers, the National Transportation Safety Board and the Federal Aviation Administration are conducting separate investigation. Calhoun claims that the company has taken responsibility and is cooperating with the investigation. He plans to step down as CEO later this year. That is the very latest. I'm Lena Bourbon reporting live here in the newsroom. We'll send it back to you.
Alina, thank you. Electric vehicle startup Fisker has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection and plans to sell its assets. The Manhattan Beach-based company has been struggling amid inflation, supply chain issues, and weakening demand for EVs. It also struggled to raise funds and also failed to get some other automakers to invest in it. In February, Fisker issued a statement that it risked running out of money this year. KTLA's David Lazarus will have more on this next hour.
Now at 10, the LAPD has arrested a man in connection with a fatal stabbing along USC's Greek Row. Police say the victim was homeless and breaking into cars. KTLA's Gene King is live in University Park with the new details that we are learning right now. Gene, good morning.
Good morning, Eric and Megan, to both of you. Well, this morning I've been talking to LAPD officers and they do confirm they have a man in custody in his 20s. However, the big question, is it possibly a USC student, and did he go to this fraternity? Still, we're waiting for those answers, but it happened here at this fraternity house in a back alley. Police believe that he is responsible for the deadly stabbing here at USC's Greek Row. That violence broke out last night, but it's not clear how a fight over alleged car break-ins led to a homicide. Take a look at this video. LAPD's South Bureau detectives on this case this morning. They haven't revealed if the suspect is a USC student or is part of the fraternity system. Once again, that is the big question this morning. That is still all under investigation. When officers rushed to the frat house at the 700 block of West 28th Street, they found a homeless man in his 30s who was suffering stab wounds. He died at the scene. It happened around 8:15 Monday night. Officers say two men were in a heated argument when it just exploded. And this is daytime video of that scene. You take a closer look. Police say the victim was allegedly trying to break into vehicles, possibly parked in the back alley behind the frat house. It became very violent. Detectives say the man pulled out a knife and stabbed the victim repeatedly. One witness says police put part of USC's Greek Row on lockdown last night. He felt so scared after he saw a pool of blood in the walkway right next to the frat house.